Hi, I'm Rhonda Jones, the Christian Meditator, and my topic for this podcast is the drifter, the doer, and the abider, navigating your spiritual journey. This is part 2 of a 3-part series. By the end of this series, you'll be able to identify where and how you can move from feeling disconnected from God to abiding with Him in mind, body, and spirit. If you haven't already, please listen to part 1, where I discuss the drifter. In part 2, I'll discuss when doing becomes draining, recognizing the limits of self-sufficiency and faith, and learn how overemphasis on personal effort can hinder spiritual growth and the joy of relying on God. In our spiritual journey, we encounter various ways of being that shape our relationship with God and our approach to life. Following our exploration of the drifter who feels powerless and disconnected, we now turn our attention to the second way of being, the doer. This state of existence is characterized by a sense of self-reliance and striving to achieve goals, yet often leads to burnout and frustration. Let's delve into the traits and challenges associated with the doer mentality. The doer is marked by a relentless hustle and a strong sense of responsibility. They take charge of their lives and pursue their goals with determination. However, their self-reliance can become a treadmill, causing them to constantly strive and struggle without experiencing true fulfillment. They are focused on reaching their destination, often overlooking the joys of the journey and living in the present moment. Scriptures such as the parable of the sower from Matthew 13 illustrate the challenges faced by the doer. Some fall among thorns, representing those who are choked out by the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches. This passage warns against becoming entangled in the pursuit of worldly success and losing sight of God's purpose for our lives. Luke 5:5-8 recounts the story of Simon toiling all night without catching any fish. Despite his efforts, he comes up empty-handed until Jesus instructs him to cast his nets again. This passage highlights the futility of relying solely on our own strength and wisdom, as true success comes from following God's guidance. Proverbs 19:21 reminds us that while we may make plans in our hearts, it is ultimately the Lord's purpose that prevails. Similarly, Proverbs 16:9 emphasizes that humans may plan their course, but it is the Lord who establishes their steps. These verses caution against the dangers of trying to control every aspect of our lives and encourage us to trust in God's sovereign plan. Despite their efforts, doers often find themselves spinning their wheels, overwhelmed by the demands they place on themselves. They may feel exhausted, frustrated, and discontented with their circumstances. Their ego-driven approach to life leaves them out of balance and seeking approval from external sources rather than finding fulfillment in God. Matthew 11:28-30 reads, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." This passage speaks to the tendency of the doer to carry heavy burdens and strive in their own strength. Jesus invites us to come to Him and find rest, recognizing that we do not have to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. Trying to accomplish everything through our own efforts can lead to exhaustion and burnout. But when we surrender to Christ and allow Him to lead us, we find true rest and peace. John 15:5 states, "I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. This verse highlights the importance of abiding in Christ for true productivity and fruitfulness. The doer may be focused on achieving goals and accomplishments in their own strength, but Jesus reminds us that apart from Him, our efforts are ultimately in vain. It is only by remaining connected to Him, drawing our strength and sustenance from Him, that we can bear lasting fruit. Luke 10:38-42 tells the story of Martha and Mary, where Martha is busy with many tasks while Mary sits at Jesus' feet, listening to His teaching. Martha becomes frustrated and asks Jesus to tell Mary to help her, but Jesus responds, "Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." Martha's busyness and preoccupation with tasks serve as a cautionary tale for the doer who prioritizes doing over being. While productivity and service are important, Jesus reminds us of the greater value of spending time in His presence and listening to His words. The doer may be tempted to measure their worth by their accomplishments, but Jesus calls us to prioritize intimacy with Him above all else. Proverbs 3:5-6 declares, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." This verse encourages us to trust in God's wisdom and guidance, rather than relying solely on our own understanding and plans. The doer may be prone to leaning on their own strength and intellect, but Proverbs reminds us of the importance of submitting to God and allowing Him to direct our steps. When we surrender our plans to Him, He promises to guide us on the right path. Isaiah 40:31 states, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." This verse offers hope and encouragement to those who may be weary from striving in their own strength. The doer may experience fatigue and burnout from their relentless pursuit of goals and accomplishments. But Isaiah reminds us that our strength is found in the Lord. When we place our hope and trust in Him, He renews our strength and enables us to persevere without growing weary. In conclusion, the doer mentality reflects a state of being where individuals strive to take charge of their lives, but often find themselves caught in a cycle of exhaustion and frustration. Despite their best efforts, they struggle to find true fulfillment and may miss out on the peace and joy that come from surrendering to God's will. As we continue our exploration of the three ways of being, we will uncover the path to true transformation and alignment with God's purpose for our lives. Use the journal prompts below to encourage introspection and self-awareness, guiding you on a journey of spiritual growth and transformation in alignment with the three ways of being. 1. Think about a recent goal or project you pursued with determination. How did you approach this goal? Did you find yourself striving and pushing to achieve it, or did you surrender to God's guidance and timing? Reflect on how you can strike a balance between ambition and surrender in your endeavors. Second, journal about a time when you experienced burnout or frustration due to overwork and striving. What warning signs did you ignore leading up to this point? Consider how you can prioritize self-care and rest while still pursuing your goals, with intention and faith. 3. Reflect on your relationship with control and planning. Are there areas of your life where you struggle to relinquish control and trust in God's sovereignty? Explore ways you can surrender your plans and desires to God, allowing Him to lead you on the journey of faith. 5. Consider the role of external validation and approval seeking in your life. How does seeking validation from others impact your sense of self-worth and identity? Reflect on ways you can find validation and fulfillment in God's love and acceptance rather than in the opinions of others. 5. Take a moment to examine your mindset towards success and failure. Do you measure your worth based on achievements and outcomes? Explore how you can adopt a growth-oriented mindset, embracing both successes and failures as opportunities for learning and spiritual growth. Please share any comments below about this video, the journal prompts, and how it resonated with you. Please share in the comments if you define yourself as a doer. Many Christians fall in this category. Please like and subscribe to my channel if this content resonates with you. If you'd like to hear part 3 and learn about the Abider, living in harmony with God, please see the link in the description.